Hello everyone. Today we will continue our CSAT preparation classes. First we will discuss today one of the major analysis of UPSC CSAT previous year papers and try to understand the trend that UPSC is following. As you can see, from 2014 to 2022 we have done a small analysis, and as you can see, the number of questions more or less has been constant, wherein if we see the most recent one, reading comprehension is 27 questions, quantitative questions are 35, and 18 are questions are of logical reasoning. And as we have seen before also, our aim should be attempting all of these questions, that is 27, 35 and 18, and do the questions which are most easy and less time consuming, so that will help you to fetch more marks, and also you can reduce your number of errors and reduce the negative marking that is awarded to each questions. And over the years you can see, like, the number of questions of logical LR has reduced significantly from 33 to just 18, almost 50% reduction. And the quantitative part or the maths wala part, it has almost doubled from 15 questions to 35 questions this year. And the reading comprehension part has been almost same, around 30 questions. Last 2 years it has been 27 questions. So keep these things in mind when you are attempting the paper, because the way we attempt the paper also matters a lot and helps in easily clearing the CSAT cutoff. Moving on. So our today's topic is ratio, proportion and variation, and later on we will see simple and compound interest also. So coming to the ratio is like a way of expressing the relationship between two or more quantities. It is the question of the division of two numbers. That means if there are two numbers a and b, ratio is represented by a divided by b. So this is the definition of ratio, and is usually expressed in the form of a by b or a is to b. For example, like, let's see an example. The ratio of boys to girls in a class of 30 students. So there are 30 students in a class. Boys are in 2 and girls are in 3 ratio, which means there are 2 boys for every 3 girls. So if we have to find the number of students, that is 2 by 3. This is 2 is girls and 3 is boys. So in ratio, if we have to find number of boys and number of girls, we simply add up these ratio, that is 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5. So 2 by 5, this is number of boys into 30, and number of girls is 3 by 5 into 30. So number of boys is equals to 2 by 5, that is 12, and number of girls equals to 3 by 5 of 30, that is 18. So you can see 12 is to 18 is equals to 2 is to 3. If you just simplify this, so there are 12 boys and 18 girls in the class. I hope this is a very simple thing. Next, we will see the concept of proportion. So proportion is the relationship between two or more ratios. So when we are operating on ratios, the concept is known as proportion, in which the ratio of first term to the second term is equal to the ratio of the third term to the fourth term. In other words, if a by b and c by d are two ratios, a by b and c by d, then they are said to be in proportion if a by b is equals to c by d. Now this ratio is equals to this ratio. That means these two ratios are in proportion. Let's see an example. If the ratio of number of apples to oranges in a basket is 4:5, number of apples to oranges, apples divided by oranges is equals to 4:5, and the ratio of number of oranges to bananas is 5:3. Oranges divided by bananas is equals to 5:3. Then we can say the ratio of apples to bananas to oranges is 4:5:3. this is apples, this is oranges, and this is banana, because oranges is the common term in both these ratios. So as you can see, it is 5 and 5. So we can simply equate them, and this is the concept of proportion. Again, a very simple concept, and as we see more examples, we will solve more problems. This will make you further easy to understand. Moving on, the next concept is of variation. Variation is the study of how one variable changes in response to another variable. There are two types of variation: direct variation and indirect or inverse variation. So suppose there are two things, like we will see this in this example to understand this direct and this is indirect variation. The speed of car, the speed at which the car is traveling, is directly proportional to the distance it travels. Then if the car travels twice the distance, it will also travel at the twice the speed. So basically distance traveled by car is equals to the speed of the car. Now if the distance is doubled in the same time, the speed will double. This shows this is a direct variation, because as one thing is increasing, another thing is also increasing. If the time taken to, let's see another example. If the time taken to complete a task is inversely proportional to the number of people working on the task, then if the number of people working on the task, so time taken is inversely proportional to number of people working. As number of people will increase, the time taken to complete that task will decrease. This is an example of indirect or inverse variation. Again, a very simple concept wherein we try to relate one concept with the other one and how it changes with respect to the other, and the time taken will change accordingly. Moving on, the next concept is simple interest. So interest, as we all know, it is known as the rate at which a person earns money when he or she borrows a fixed amount from another person. As you can see, simple interest is the interest earned on a principal amount over a specific period of a time at a fixed rate. Now this is very important, the fixed rate. The person earns a amount, like principal is the amount that is being borrowed in general over a specific period of time. So there are three variables: principal amount, time, and the rate, and that these all three links to the interest. So for example, first we will see the formulas and then we will see the example. So simple like the simple formula for simple interest is PNR by 100. P is the principal that has been given to the person. N is the time, and R is the rate at which the person has borrowed the money, and the total amount will be the principal amount plus the interest amount. This is the simple interest. So addition of these two things will give the total amount. So for example, if we invest 10,000 at an interest rate of 5% per annum for 2 years, the simple interest earned will be, now let's put this in this formula. SI equals to principal, that is 10,000 into N is 2 years, into the interest rate, which is 5% per annum. So simple interest will be, as we can see, 10 into 100, that is 1000 rupees. This is the simple interest at 5% per annum for 2 years. I hope this is clear to every one of you. Moving on, we'll see the concept of compound interest. So there are two types of interest. First was simple and second is compound interest. It is the interest earned on a principal amount. Again, the principal is same for a specific period of time at a fixed rate. Everything is similar, but with the added feature that the interest earned is added to the principal amount at the end of each time period. Suppose for the first year, compound interest will be equal to simple interest, but in the second year, compound interest includes the principal plus simple interest and the interest over it. So that is why it is known as compound, because it adds interest to the interest. We will see the formula, and then solve few questions so that the concept is clear. The amount is equals to P. P is the principal amount, and R is the rate at which the money is invested or borrowed, and N is the time period. So for example, if we invest 10,000 at an interest rate of 5% per annum for 2 years, the compound interest will be 1051.25. Let's put this in the formula so that we can understand. So amount is equals to P. P is 10,000 as seen in the previous question also. Rate is 5 divided by 100 and N is 2. This is the entire amount, and if you want to find only the interest rate, that is compound interest value, that will be equal to compound interest equal to A minus principal amount. So on solving this, we get 1051.25 rupees. So I hope this is clear. It's very simple. As we see more questions, we'll get a clarity, and the concept will be even more clearer. Moving on, as we have seen previously also, the importance of PYQs is very prominent in UPSC exam, whether it is prelims or mains or interview. It helps a lot, gives a direction to us. Coming back, let's try solving few PYQs on the concept we have learned, so that you can easily attempt these questions. This is the first question. I'll suggest first you have 1 minute, try to attempt this question and understand what exactly we have to find, and then we will solve this question. I hope everyone has attempted the question. Let's see, there are two persons, A and B, who are running on a circular track. At start, B is ahead of A and their position make an angle of 30 degree at the center of the circle. When E reaches the point diametrically opposite to his starting point, he meets B. What is the ratio of speeds of A and B if they are running with uniform speed? Now, so this is the circular track. At the start, B is ahead of A. So suppose here is A, and in the question it is said B is ahead of A, and at the center the position of B makes an angle of 30 degree with respect to A, and when A reaches the point diametrically opposite to his starting point, so that means diametrically opposite means it is exactly at the other end, that is 180 degree of the starting point. Now the position of A and B are at the same position. He meets B. So A starts from this point and B starts from this point, and both of them stop at this point. Now the time taken by A to reach from point 1 to point 2 will be equals to not time, the speed taken. Speed equals to distance upon time. So distance covered by A is pi r and time taken is t. Speed of A and speed of B is equals to distance point time. Time is same for both as they are meeting at the same time. Distance by B is equals to 30 30 degree divided by 360 degree into 2 pi r, because the angle is 30 degree. So the answer will be 1 by 12 and this will be 1 by 6. So pi r, there is a small mistake here, like we have to measure this angle, like suppose this is 30 degree, this angle will be 150 degree. So B has to cover this part from this point to this point. So distance covered by B will be 150 by 360 into 2 pi r. If we have to calculate this point, this part from A to B, then it will be 30 by 360 into 2 pi r. So this will be equals to 3 5s are 318, 12 and 2 by 6. So 5 by 6, 2 pi r, pi r. So if we have to find the ratio of the speeds of A by B, it will be equal to pi r by t for A and 5 by 6 pi r by t. We can just simply cancel these things. This will be equal to 6:5, which is option A. I hope this is simply a very simple question. We have to just find the ratio of the speeds of A and B, and we simply find the distance travelled by A from this point to this point and distance travelled by B from this point to this point, and take their ratios because the time taken is same. And this distance by A is simple, half of the perimeter of the circle, that is 2 pi r by 2, that is pi r. And distance travelled by B is simple, basically it is theta by 360 into 2 pi r. Theta is the angle covered by the B, which in this case is 150 degrees. If we find, and the entire angle of the circle is 360 degree, half is 180 degree, and in this case it is 150 degree for B. I hope the question is clear to everyone. Let's move to next question. Again you have 1 minute to solve this question. Try to attempt it. It's a very simple question, and whatever concepts we have learned can be easily applied here, and then we'll discuss the question. I hope everyone has attempted the question. Let's see it. So there are 120 applications for a post. Out of that, 70 are male. That means 50 are females, and 80 people have license, the driver's license. They are asking the ratio between minimum to maximum number of males having driver license. So maximum will be when all the males have driving license. Since there are 70 males and 80 people have driving license, that means all 70 can have driving license and 10 females will have the pending driving license. Minimum we can see there are 50 females, there are 70 males and 50 females. If we have to find minimum, we can see that if all 50 females have driving license, that means out of 80 driving licenses, 50 females have driving license, that means 30 people still extra are there which have driving license, which will be equal to number of males having driving license. So minimum will be 30. Maximum is when all the males, when 70 to 70 have driving license, and minimum will be when all females have driving license, 30 will be left and that 30 males will have the driving license. So the ratio between the minimum to max will be 30:70. That is 3:7. That is option C. I hope again this was a very simple question. I'll just have a small recap. So there are 120 applications for a driving license. Out of them 70 are male. That means 120 minus 70 are females. That is 50. And out of all the applicants, 80 have driving license. That means if we have to find maximum number of males which have driving license, it will be if when all males have driving license 70. And if we have to find minimum, we can just simply see if all females will have driving license, that would be the minimum scenario, and that will give us 30 still males having driving license. So the ratio will be 30:70, that is 3:7. Moving into next question. Again you have 1 minute. It's again very simple question which includes comparison of monthly incomes of two people, X and Y. People have monthly income and then monthly expenses. So what is the ratio of total, what is their total monthly income, we have to find using the details given in the question. First attempt the question and then we will solve it. I hope everyone has attempted the question. The details given are first is monthly income of X and Y, which is X here, Y here. Monthly income is in the ratio of 4:3, and let this monthly income, total monthly income be X, so it will be 4X and 3X. Then monthly expenses, they are given in the ratio of 3:2, that is 3y and 2y, which is basically y is the expenses, total monthly expenses, and then it is said savings for both of them is 6,000. Now basically monthly income minus monthly expenses will be savings for an individual. For x, the relation will be 4x minus 3y that equals to 6,000, and for y it will be 3x minus 2y equals to 6,000. We can simply subtract equation 1 from equation 2. 1 minus 2 we will get x minus y equals to 0. That means x equals to y. Now we have to find the total monthly income. So total monthly income equals to 4x plus 3x, which is equals to 7x, and x equals to y, and substituting x equal to y in this relation, we get 4x minus 3x, which is equal to x, which is equals to 6,000. 4x minus 3x equals to 6,000. That means the value of x is 6,000. Substituting this value of x here, we get 7 into 6,000, which is 42,000. This means the total monthly income is 42,000. I'll just have a small recap for this question. It is given, 3 details are given for 2 people x and y: monthly income, monthly expenses and savings. Monthly income are in the ratio 4:3, monthly expenses 3:2, and savings for both the people is same, 6,000, 6,000. We simply make a relation. Basically whatever is income minus whatever is the expenses will be the savings of the person. For x it is 4x minus 3y, and for y it is 3x minus 2y. On solving this equation, we find x equals to 6,000. So total monthly income equals to the income of x plus y, which is equals to 7x, that is 42,000 rupees. Let's see the next question. Again, you have around 1.5 minutes to attempt this question, and then we will solve this. In this question, the new concept of ratio will be used. Basically division of money on the basis of ratios, and we have to find the difference between maximum and minimum share. Let's solve this question. In this it is given a sum of rupees 2,500 is distributed among x, y, z. So there are 3 people x, y, z who have distributed the money in ratio 1:2, 1:3, 4, 5/6. Now whenever the ratios are given in terms of fraction, we have to just simply multiply them with their LCM so as to simplify these proportion. So the LCM of 2, 4, 6 is 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 3 and 3, which is LCM equals to 2 into 2 into 3, this is 12. So let's multiply these all the ratio with 12. We get 12 by 2 is to 3 by 4 into 12 is to 5 by 6 into 12. On simplifying this, we get 6 is to 9 is to 10. Now, if we divide 2500 in these ratio, it is simply 600 is to 900 is to 1000, because the summation will be 600 plus 900 plus 1000, which is equals to 25,000, 2500. Now they are asking the difference between maximum and minimum share. Maximum here is 1000 and minimum here is 600. So difference between 1000 and 600 is 400. So answer is option C. I'll bring a small recap of this question. Now it is given there is a total amount of 2500 which is distributed between x, y, z in this ratio. 1 by 2 is to 3 by 4 is to 5 by 6. And whenever the ratios are given in fraction form, we multiply these ratio with their LCM. The LCM here it is coming 12. Multiplying every ratio, every fraction in by 12, we get the new ratio of 6 is to 9 is to 10. Now it is simply 600 is to 900 is to 1000, because the summation will be 2500. Another way of doing this is divide these numbers with their total summation. That is, total summation of 6 plus 9 plus 10 is equals to 25. Dividing all by 25, we get 6 by 25, 9 by 25, 10 by 25, and now multiply with the total amount, that is 2500. So 6 by 25 into 2500 will be 600. Similarly, this will be 900 and this will be 1000. Now we have to find difference between minimum and maximum value, that is 10,000, 1000 minus 600, which is 400. I hope the question is clear. Let's see the next question. You have 1 minute, please attempt it and then we'll discuss. I'll just clarify what the terms used in this question mean. Emoluments, then allowances, and then basic pay. So emoluments is equals to the allowances of a person plus the basic pay of the person. This is the total money that the person is getting, which is basic pay plus allowances. Now please attempt this question. I hope everyone has attempted the question. It says emoluments, total emoluments for 2 person are same. That means suppose the 2 person are x and y. Ex equals to ey. But one gets allowances to the extent of 65% of his basic pay and other gets allowances to the extent of 80% of his basic pay. as we have seen, emoluments is equals to allowances plus basic pay. So for the X, it is basic pay plus allowances, which is 0.65% of the basic pay. For Y, it is BX. For Y, it is basic pay plus 0.8 BY. Now let's simplify this. Now it is asking the ratio of basic pay of the former to the basic pay of the latter. Simply adding, we get 1.65 BX is equals to 1.5 BY. BX by BY is equals to 1.8 by 1.65. Let's simplify it. 180 by 165. Dividing by 5, we get 3 and 30, that is 36. Divided by 315, 35. Uh, 33. Further simplifying this, we get 12:11. So answer is option D. So simple thing, emoluments is equals to basic pay plus allowances, and now they are saying emoluments for both X and Y is same, which is basic pay plus 0.65 of basic pay, which is equal to basic pay plus 0.8% of the basic pay, and we have to find the basic pay, the ratio of basic pay of BX and BY, which is 1.8 by 1.65, which on solving comes 12:11. Let's see the next question. Now this question involves logic plus mathematics. You have 1 minute, attempt it, and then we'll discuss. Now in this question it is said amount of money was distributed among A, B, C in the ratio PQR. Now this amount of money, suppose X, it is distributed in A, B, C in ratio PQR. Now it is saying A gets the maximum share if P is greater than Q plus R. Now if P is greater than Q plus R, that means P will be greater than Q and it will be greater than Q because it is greater than the summation of Q plus R. So as per this, P will get maximum share, that is P, that is for A. So the first statement is true because A is getting maximum share because it is greater than the summation of Q plus R. Now the second thing is C gets the minimum share if R is less than P plus Q. Now it is saying R is less than P plus Q. Now we cannot say R will be lesser than P and Q both, because it is less than their summation. It might be such that P is greater than R and less than Q, or it might be R is greater than Q but less than P. So we don't know where is the position of R in this PQR. So we cannot ascertain that C will get minimum ratio or not. So this means first is correct and second is wrong. So answer A only. We'll understand it by a numerical also. Suppose the ratio is A, B, C. It is 3, let's take it 5, 3 and 2. Or make it 3, 5, 2, 1 second, 5, 2, 3. Make it 6. Now, if P here 6 is greater than 2 plus 3, that means A has greatest share among all the 3. So first is wrong. Now it is saying C gets the minimum share if R is less than P plus Q. Now R is 3, which is less than P plus Q, which is 8. But it is not minimum because the minimum is B, which is Q. So even from numerical we can see second is wrong and A is the answer. Let's see the next question. Now this question is of the concept of compound interest. I'll first solve it because this is slightly challenging, because it involves simplification of the problem, and then you can easily attempt all the compound interest questions. Now as we remember, the formula for compound interest was P into 1 plus R by 100 raised to power n. Now it is said the principal amount is 22,800 with interest rate 12.5% compounded yearly. At the end of the first year, the person paid 8,650, and at the end of the second year, he paid 9,125. How much will he has to pay at the end of third year to clear the debt? Now, for the first year, the amount will be 2,800 plus 2,800 into 1 plus 12.5 by 100 power n, which is equals to 2,500 650. Now out of this, the person paid 8,650. So the amount left is 17,000. Now this for the second year, this is first year. Now second year, the amount paid will be 17,000 to 1 plus 12.5 by 100 power n, which on solving comes 19,125, and out of this the person has paid 9,125. So the amount left is exactly 10,000. So at the end of the third year, the person has to pay 10,000, 1 plus 12.5 by 100 power n, which comes out 11,250. So the answer is option D. We have to apply this compound interest formula for 3 times to arrive the answer. As we can see, for the first year, the amount the person has to pay is 25,650, and out of which he only paid 8,650. So the amount left is 17,000. For the second year, now the amount he has to pay is 19,125, but he paid only 9,125. So the amount left is 10,000. So this 10,000 amount will be compounded for the next year, which comes out to be 11,250. Moving on to the next question. You have 1 minute, please attempt it and then we will solve. Now in this question it is given, as per agreement with the bank, a businessman had to refund a loan in some equal installments without interest. There is no interest involved. After paying 18 installments, he found that 60% of his loan was refunded. How many installments were there in agreement? Now 60% loan is repaid in 18 installments. How much installments will be required to pay 100% loan? It is simple unitary method we have to apply. 18 by 16 into 100, which is 30. So the person has to pay 30 installments to fulfill the loan. We are able to apply a unitary method because there is no interest involved. So all the installments are of equal payment and there is no interest that is being compounded or yearly. So simply we can apply the unitary method, because for 60% it takes 18 installments, for 100% it will take 30 installments. Moving on to the next question. You have 1 minute, like attempt this question and then we will solve it. Now in this question it is given, in a rare coin collection, there is 1 gold coin for every 3 non-gold coins. 10 more gold coins are added to the collection and the ratio of gold coins to non-gold coins would be 1:2. Based on this information, we have to find total number of coins in the collection. Let's simplify this problem. They are gold coins and then we have non-gold coins. Initially, they are in the ratio 1:3. Now, assume the total number of coins is x. So, the gold to non-gold will be x:3x. Now it is said 10 more gold coins are added to the collection. That means gold coins are x plus 10 now. And the ratio of gold coins to non-gold coins would be 1:2. That means x plus 10 divided by 3x, because no non-gold coin is added, only gold coins are added. This is equals to 1:2. Now we have to find the total number of coins in the collection. Now let's solve this equation. It is 2x plus 20 equals to 3x. We are simply cross multiplying. On solving this, we get x equal to 20. Now we have to find total number of coins. Total number of coins is equals to x plus 10. X is the initial gold coins, 10 is the gold coins that is added afterwards, and non-gold coins is 3x. So the total coins is 4x plus 10. Substituting the value of x from here, we get 4 into 20 plus 10, which is equals to 90. Option A. So as we can see here, the total number of coins are 90. It was just simple English that we had to understand, because once we simplify the equations and solve it, we can easily arrive at the answer. Moving on to the next question. This involves concept of multiple ratios. You have another 1.5 minutes. solve it, and then we'll discuss it how to solve. A student appeared in 6 papers. The maximum marks are the same for each paper. His marks in these papers are in the proportion 5:6:7:8:9:10. Overall, he scored 60%. In how many of papers did he score less than 60% of the maximum marks? Now let's assume the maximum marks for each paper is 100. So for 6 papers, total will be 600 marks. And overall, he has scored 60%. So his score is equals to 60% of 600, which is equals to 60 by 100 into 600. That is 360 marks. Now the proportion of the marks are 5:6 is to 7 is to 8 is to 9 is to 10, which is equals, if we do summation of all these in proportion, assuming the total proportion is x, 5x, 6x, 7x, 8x, 9x, 10x. So summation is equals to 7x, 8x, 9x plus 10x equals to 360. That is 45x equals to 360. That means x equals to 360 by 45, which is equals to 8. Now substituting the value of x in each of these values, we get 5x is to 6x is to 7x, 8x, 9x, 10x. (40, 48, 56, 64, 72 and 100, 80. So 60% of the maximum marks is 60 marks. So in one subject, two subject, three subject, the person has scored less than 60 marks. So the answer will be 3. I hope it is clear. It's quite simple. We have to just make one simple assumption that the total marks are 100, and for 6 papers the total will be 600, and then total score stored by the student is 60% of 600, that is 360. And since all the papers have scores in proportion from 5 to 10, we can simply add this to find the exact value or the exact score the student has scored, which comes out 40, 48, 56, 64, 72 and 80. And we have been asked in which of the papers the person has scored less than 60% of the maximum marks. So less than 60 is in 3 papers, 1, 2 and 3. So answer is 3. I hope the concept of ratio and proportion is clear. It is quite a simple topic, and we have practiced all the different varieties of questions also. Just keep practicing and you can easily solve these questions. Thank you.